let's get serious here. I am rather concerned how this will play out in the long run for independent media. But to all of my viewers who are at least trying to start up your own channel, be it in politics or something else, it is very important that should the day happen when you get confronted or get a, I guess, sponsor for your show, you look into the background of who they are. Now, just a quick reminder, way back in the day, if you watched Hard Lens Media from the beginning, we actually had sponsors on our radio show. We were on radio before we got on YouTube. Perhaps we should have started on YouTube first, but nonetheless, we were me and Daniel were wide-eyed doing all this. But we actually did have sponsors for our radio show. And look, it is great to have a sponsor, but here's the thing, like a lot of these small businesses and people struggling way back in 2017, 2018, still struggling now, there's always a finite way in which a sponsor will stay on your show. And occasionally you do run into the people who say, well, I want to have editorial control and I want to do this and that. You got to be very careful. Same thing, too, getting out any kind of bank loan, because guess what? You got to pay that money back. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of moolah. So why am I bringing this up here? Because right now, federal prosecutors, and again, innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, because I find it very interesting how people are just, yeah, let's go get them. Russia secretly worms its way into America's conservative media. So, look, for all you don't know, this is Lauren Chen and her husband, Liam Donovan. They founded Tenet Media. And in 2022, and apparently Russian money has accounted for most of the company's revenue in recent months. She was also a contributor on the Blaze Network, which is owned by Glenn Beck or founded by Glenn Beck, and she was recently fired. But as it stands right now, there were other people who were involved in the company, most notably people like Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin. They posted some of their original content on there, and by proxy, they might have gotten some of that good cash money. And let's face it, all of them have wonderful studios. But folks, that stuff ain't cheap. And it's very important to know who is backing you. You have to ask these questions. You have to look into things, because what I find fascinating, and this has kind of recently happened, even in spam emails, I mean, a lot of people saying, hi, Hard Lens Media, we'd like to give you some money. Hey, and from very strange named places, okay? And by the way, just so you know, sometimes, if you have a large platform and you're sponsoring something, be careful what you're selling to your people, because your people are who you are. Hard Lens Media, we have sponsors. It's you, the people. But I've seen a lot of big content creators promote stuff that was absolute crap. Who remembers that sponsorship deal where if you buy an acre of land in Scotland, you yourself can become a lord? That was BS. Or who remembers these awesome, sharp Japanese knives that was promoted by everybody? Yeah, no. There were people. I think, hold on, I just want to be sure on this one, because I think we actually did a segment on this one actually one time. Just want to be clear on this, because before anything else goes down, I want to make sure that maybe we did a segment, or I might have did it as a joke. If I did it as a joke, shame on me. Shame on you, Kit Cabello. Shame on you. Just want to get this right. Really? Oh, I didn't. Okay, well, all right. Maybe I did not have that, but there were these Japanese knives. It turns out they weren't made in Japan; they were made in Hong Kong. Now, I hope you're sitting down for this, but Hong Kong and Japan, two different places altogether. So, just going a little bit more into this, talking about this. In 2022, a young couple from Canada, Lauren Chen and Liam Donovan, registered a new company in Tennessee that went on to create a social media outlet called Tenet Media. By November of 2023, they had assembled a lineup major conservative social media stars, including Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, to post original content on Tenet's platform. The site then began posting hundreds of videos trafficking in pointed political commentary as well as conspiracy theories about election fraud, COVID-19, immigrants, Russia's war in Ukraine that were promoted across the spectrum of social media from YouTube, TikTok, X, Facebook, Instagrams, and the Rumble. Which, by the way, folks, there's a lot of liberals who are cheering for Tenet's downfall. And look, on the one hand, again, innocent until proven guilty. And it's one thing to prosecute somebody. It's another thing altogether. Again, I know there's a lot of people who are not fans of Tim Pool or any of these other guys, but innocent until proven guilty. Okay, we do have a legal system. It was all federal prosecutors now say a covert Russian influence operation because Russiagate has returned again, right? On Wednesday, the Justice Department accused 2 Russians of helping orchestrate $10 million in payments to Tenet in a scheme to use those stars to spread Kremlin-friendly messages. Wow. All right. The disclosures reflect the growing sophistication of the Kremlin's longstanding efforts to shape American public opinion. Like the USA doesn't do that too. I keep that on the down low. No, don't ever talk about what happened to Iran's national government. Don't ever talk about all the other coups that we did. Keep that on the down low. Keep it quiet. Shush. Hush puppies. Continue on. In 2016 and 2020, Russia employed armies of internet trolls, fake accounts, and bot farms, beep, boop, beep, to try and reach American audiences with debatable success. The operation that prosecutors described this week shows a pivot of exploiting already established social media influencers, who in this case generated as many as 16 million views on Tenet's YouTube channel alone. Most viewers were presumably unaware, as the influencers themselves said they were that Russia was paying for it all. Wow. Influencers already have a level of trust with their audience, said Joe Luco, a professor of University of Texas at Austin Journalism School, who studies Russian disinformation. You mean like the Hunter Biden laptop was Coca-Cola Classic Russian disinformation? Right? Remember that? Or all the other crap? Avon calling, hello. So if a piece of information can come through the mouth of an existing influencer, it comes across as more authentic, which is why I say, folks, even after watching my show, it is your social responsibility to look at other sources of information. Yes, even those that might not think the same as you, because I expect my audience to do the right thing, and that is be critical, free thinkers, as you should be, because that's what I want you all to do. The indictment, which landed like a bombshell in the country's conservative media ecosystem, also underscored the growing ideological convergence between Russian Vladimir Putin's Russia and a significant portion of the Republican Party since Mr. Trump's rise to political power. Boogie, 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 boogie. The Kremlin has long sought to exploit divisions on both sides of the American political spectrum, but continuous conservative voices provide ample fodder for its own propaganda, especially when it provides criticism of the Biden administration or more broadly of the country's foreign policy, including support for Ukraine and its war against Russia. Now, look, I've been critical of this war against Russia because, I want people to stop dying, but also I don't want the sequel we've all been dreading for, World War III, to, happen. Because, when I'm upstairs, doing some housework or cleaning out my attic, and I see the Chicago skyline, and it's a beautiful skyline, the last thing I want to see when I'm sweeping is, a mushroom cloud in the sky, and then this wall of fire coming to vaporize me. Maybe I don't want the nukes to be a-flying. Is that a bridge too far? To some liberals drinking their lattes? Yes, kid, it is. Shame on you, you awful man. The indictment detailed the lengths Russia went to try and make Tenet a player in the country's political discourse while obfuscating the fact that it was footing the bill. That including transfer at least $9.7 million from Russia to shell companies in countries like Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, and so many others. Those payments accounted for 90% of the company's revenue from last October to August, the indictment said. So prosecutors have not so far charged, again, be very clear on this, have not charged Ms. Chan or Mr. Donovan. It is unclear where they are, and they did not respond to requests for comment. Listen, I've been kind of watching their Instagram and Twitter account, and they are on radio silence. Now, the thing is, when a bombshell like this drops, I've been seeing a lot of posts in their comment section like, oh, you've been awfully quiet. Are you on the run? It's easy to assume that. But it also could be, too, that they're reaching out to legal counsel, and the best thing they have to do is keep quiet. Hush, puppy. So, again, It really matters on what happens and if and when they do get charged. The indictment did note that neither they nor Tenet had registered as a representative of a foreign government, and a requirement of the Foreign Agents Registration Act known as FARA. Tenet's influencers all described themselves as victim of Russian ruse and at times disparaged the federal investigation. They emphasized that they took no direction from Russians. Through the indictment details various efforts by the company's sponsors to sow specific narratives, some of which appeared in the content they posted. In one instance, Mr. Johnson, a former journalist with 2.4 million subscribers on the YouTubes, suggested on the show that Ukraine might have been responsible for a deadly attack at a concert hall in Moscow in March, reflecting a since debunked Russian claim. Right, but remember corporate media? How you guys dismissed, the Nord pipeline? Remember that thing? And people were wondering what was going on. In the same article that I'm reading from, the New York Times, they did post an article that said, and I quote, "Maybe it's a good thing we don't know what happened to the Nord Stream pipeline." And then as time progressed, we kind of found out that it was not Russia. Ukraine, what? That did it. What? Stop asking questions. I'm just saying it's real easy to vilify people, but it's the pot calling the kettle black. And again, to my audience, if you want to get in this space of social media, it's fun, it's engaging, it's also serious. And should you be successful in growing your channel, because I want to see people succeed. I love seeing people succeed. I'm happy for it. Always be careful who comes knocking at your door. Okay, because there's a lot of snakes out there. People who come to you showing as friends, but they got daggers in their smiles. There's snakes out there, folks. Keep your head on a swivel, which is something these larger influencers should have known. It's one thing to take in money, but I guess maybe the bigger your channel is, you start forgetting. Maybe so. Another influencer of Tenet's roster, Lauren Southern, a far-right Canadian commentator with more than 1.2 million followers between YouTube and X, produced a video mocking the Summer Olympics in Paris in July, echoing Russia's efforts to generate the games and their French hosts. First of all, everybody, wait, hold on, New York Times. Everybody was making fun of the French Olympics, okay? I mean, they did that to themselves. I've seen people on the left, in the right, in the center, up, down, north side, east side, west side, all across the world. No matter the color of your skin or who you worship, the whole world got in on making fun of the Olympics. I mean, for Christ's sakes. Yeah, that one shooter from Turkey who just straight up like a boss, popping, pop. You had that other dude, the dude with the giant wing bone, who cost his own wing bone cost him the Olympics. And then you had that Australian dancer doing this. I mean, come on. Listen. The French Olympics did it to themselves, okay? Russia, and just because Russia made fun of it, hey, everybody was making fun of it, okay? Just like that scene for The Professional, who do we get? Everyone made fun of it. Everyone just had to went off topic, completely off center. But there we go. All right. Hey, folks, what do you think of the Olympics? All right. And Gray Walker. Oh, dude, I've learned this lesson. Smiling faces tell lies. Beware of the pat on the back. It just might hold you back. Gray Walker, my brother Marine. You hit the nail on the head on that one, buddy. Jesus. Anyways, shout out to Gray Walker. Mandatory thumbs up for Gray Walker if it's that one. Man. Anyways. So as a final note, folks, look, I want you all just to remember, whatever comes from this overall ruling, be careful, okay? And it's always important to double check and check your sources. Now, what's going to happen to all these influencers? Personally, I think everyone's going to be fine. And I'm pretty sure there will be some response, but I did check Tenet's Media's YouTube account, and their channel was terminated by YouTube, which is a frightening experience to go through. I know about that firsthand numerous times. But just remember, folks, should you be successful in your own endeavors, keep an open eye out on who's sponsoring you. Beware of smiling faces. Beware. And as for you, the viewers, always, always, always double check. Always be critical. Always be a free thinker. That's what Hard Lens Media expects from all of you. And keep your heads on a swivel. 2024 is almost over. Just a few more months. Then we go into 2025.